Hi everyone. So in this recording we will go over how to use Power Pivot, which can basically help us actually replace the use of SQL or a database where we connect database tables through relationships and so on. And then we can use Power Pivot or pivot tables actually to answer some of those queries. So for now, let's start by adding Power Pivot to the Excel as an add-in. So we will go to File and then to Options. So I'm just following the instructions here, and then Add-in, and then we can go to COM Add-in, and then make sure that we select the button here where it says Power Pivot. Right, I'll say OK. Now you will notice that I have a Power Pivot tab here. So now I can go ahead and import Microsoft Access database or tables that are already related. So I'll just go to Data and then Get Data from, and then from Microsoft Access or any other database. So for now we'll go to here, and I need the clinic, which I already attached for you. So now it will take a while kind of to process all those tables and create queries and so on. So we'll wait for it. Alright, so now I will select multiple tables. So I'll select all of those guys, all the tables that I'm interested in, and then I'll click on Load. So we'll wait for it until it loads. Alright, so now it shows that it already loaded all the tables that I have imported that were in that Microsoft Access database. So I can preview by hovering over the name of the table. So now what I'm really interested in is I want to go to Power Pivot, and then I will go to Manage. So under Manage here, I will be able to see a preview of the tables that I have in this database, or in we can call it a model. And then I can actually click on the diagram view. That way I can see the exact tables and the values or the columns. So I can just drag them here and make sure that I can see all the attributes or all the columns. That way when I'm answering some of the queries, I know which is which and which of those columns in which table. And then so I can keep this one. I will minimize this guy. That way I can answer the first question. So the first query is asking me to list the last name of all patients and the total amount of invoice for each patient. So okay, so in that case what I will do is I will go to Insert, and then I will say Power Pivot Table. I will make sure that I'm gonna use the workbooks data model. So that's the model that we just included, and I will put it in the new sheet. So they want me to list the last name and then the sum of invoice amount in front of it. Alright, so now for this guy, okay, I'll just put video here. So now I need, we'll go back and forth to see the table. So I need the last name from the patient table, and I need the invoice amount, the sum of invoice amount from the billing table. So in this case, I'm going to make sure to go to the patient, and then last name, I'll just put it in the rows, and then the total invoice amount. I will go back to the table that has that invoice amount, which is the billing table. So invoice amount, I'll put it in the values, automatically put it for me as sum of invoice amount, and then I can actually right click and do from largest to lowest somehow. So that answered my first question. So I'll go back to pivot table. So all patients, and the total amount of invoices for each. Which patient had the most total invoice amount? Now I can easily answer that question. I saw that Taylor has the highest. Now let's move on to the next one. So I will not answer all of them. I will answer those in blue because the ones in black, they are very similar to the ones that I will do, and you should be able to do them. So number 2, list the invoice items and their respective number of visits. Okay, so invoice item and the respective number of visits. So I can use those two tables here. So table billing and invoice item. So to do that, I will again I will insert a new pivot table. So I'll use my model, use the workbook, and then new worksheet. Okay, so I'll put it here. So I need from the invoice item table, and I need the number of visits from, let's go back, from the billing table, visit ID. From the billing table, I need the visit ID, count of visit ID. Okay, excellent. So that's what I needed to answer this question. So now I can say that office visit has the highest number of visits. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question here. Which month, not day, had the most visits? So show the results in an appropriate chart, and then I need to put it in a chart. Alright, so which month, so visit date, which month has the highest visit? So I need the visit ID and the visit date to answer this question, so it's only from one table. Alright, so for this, again, I will insert pivot table. I'll use this model, and then OK. So I will put the visit ID as count, and I want the visit date. Alright, so visit dates, I need, as it says here, the question says I need, let's see, the month, because now it is the years, but I need the month, so I will make sure that the year is selected, and then I will go to group selection, and I will unselect the year and quarter, and I will just keep the month and click OK. So now you will see that I have the months, and I can sort them from largest to lowest, so I can say that April has the highest, or the highest number of visits. Alright, so now let's look at, and then they said they want us to create a chart, an appropriate chart for it. Alright, so an appropriate chart for this one, I can actually just go to analyze and then power chart, or you can actually, you don't have to have power chart, you can actually just go to insert and then recommended chart. So this is one example. So you can say OK, and then you can format this chart. So you get the idea. Now for question number 6, which reason diagnosis had the most walk-in visits? Alright, so which reason had the most walk-ins? So reason is in the visit. So let's see. So which reason had the most walk-ins? So reason and then walk-ins. They are from the visit table. Okay, let's answer this question by going to again insert, use this model, and new sheet. So the reason in the rows, that way I can group by the reason, and then did we say the walk-ins? So I'll put walk-ins here, which is true versus false. It's the binary, and then I can put the visit ID to count the visit ID. That way it counts for me the number of visits. So now I can sort this guy to answer my question. So influenza had the highest number of visits. So then it asks you, this is up to you, which city had the most incidents. I will let you take care of that. Just improvise and see what you can do for that one. So you can either include the city. So I will let you improvise with that one. And then, so let's move on to number 8. So number 8 is asking us which city has the highest amount of invoices. So which city has the highest amount of invoices? Is there a correlation between the number of visits and the amount of invoices? Show in an appropriate chart, including the trend line as well as the slope equation and the R-squared. Okay, so for this one, again, I'll just go to insert. I'll use the worksheets data model, new sheet. So let's see. City and invoice amount. So city, we need the city from the patient table and invoice amount from billing. Alright. So city in the rows. And then I'll minimize this guy, that way I can see the billing and then invoice amount. Drag it, drop it here, so the sum is accurate. I will keep it. And then I will just sort. So I can see that Hartford is the highest invoice amount. And then the other part of the question is there a correlation between the amount of invoices and the number of visits? So the number of visits in this case, I'll put the visit IDs also and put it here. So now I have the number of visits. So let's see if there is a correlation. Here, if I try to create a chart here, it will not allow me, so I will need to copy this and then paste it as numbers only, the values. So that way I can create my own chart by going to insert and then chart. The recommended chart is, in this case, is the scatter chart. So it's asking us to create or to insert trend. So I need the linear trend line, and then let's say that I want to format the trend line. That way I can insert the display the equation on chart and display the R-squared. So that's all I needed. Now you can see that the R-squared is 0.98 and the highest R-squared is 1. So you can see that we have the slope equation and also we have the R-squared. So that was all that I wanted to cover for this, and then I will let you take care of the other questions. They are very similar to what we did. Alright, I will see you later.